What up, world? It's your boy, Oscar Mike. And, I just wanted to drop you guys a line today about something that's been going on. I know I haven't been posting. I had a real good friend of mine. He passed uh, last week. And, in honor of his memory, I'm going to go through some things that him and I used to talk about, along the years. Maybe we've been talking about this stuff maybe 10 years or whatever the case may be. A lot of people out there know my boy Perry Jackson. He just died suddenly. He was a young man in his early 30s, about to turn 35 actually. And in his memory, I'm going to talk about some painful truths about life. I wrote down 10. Hopefully, you guys vibe with me, but here they go. Number one, the average life is relatively short. I think the average life now is probably like between like 70, 75 years old. And if you don't take care of yourself or if you get sick, it's most likely going to be shorter than that. We talk about before about writing our goals down and like, going for things that we really want in life. You got to understand that you're only here for a short while and you're only going to be young for a short period of time. Me right now, I'm 38 years old. I feel great, right? I feel like I'm still in my prime, but I mean, in all reality, I might be halfway done with my life, God willing at least, right? Number two, you will only live the life you create. Me and my boy Perry used to talk about like our goals. He wanted to be a school teacher and he was working towards it. He was back and forth with it. He was in the military. He got out. He had a couple jobs. Things would work for him and things weren't working for him. Back and forth. Being his friend. I used to talk about things about manifesting his dreams and things he could do to get ahead or whatever. But I don't know if necessarily he did everything that he wanted to do before he left this earth, and that's just the hard truth. Knowing him and being a friend. Um, Number three, being busy does not mean you're productive. I'm busy all the time, right? But let's be honest, like I'm not necessarily always productive, and I think it was the same thing in his life and the same thing in other people's lives I know who've passed thus far, friends of mine. We always say we're busy, like we can't meet up, like we wanted to meet up in Vegas, we wanted to meet up in California. We always say we were busy, but were we really productive? Were we really living the lives that we wanted to live? I can't necessarily say that they wanted to live, or even me living the life that I want to live. I can't necessarily say that I've been doing that, or that they had an opportunity to do that. Especially my boy Perry. He was busy all the time. And I was like, hey man, let's meet over here, or let's do this, let's do that. And he always said he was busy, and now he's gone, and we'll never be able to meet up, and we'll never be able to take that trip or whatever the case may be. So next time one of my friends says, hey, let's meet up, or let's do this or do that, I'm gonna try my damnedest to do it, because you never know, when you're gonna go or when's the last time you'll be able to talk to him. I talked to my boy last week, Saturday, and he's gone already. But let's move on. Number four, failure occurs before success. Him and I failed both in our careers, in our military careers. I had a lot of failures. I've had a lot of successes, and Perry used to be one of those people that always used to tell me when I was failing or when I wasn't doing well to just keep pushing forward. And he used to always say, Marvin, you're doing it for the both of us, because I'm getting out the military or whatever, and you gotta carry on. And so I'm carrying on his legacy, and I'm gonna push as hard as I can. Not just for me, but in memory of him and all the support that he gave me. Number five, thinking and doing are two different things. Him and I used to come up with all these great ideas, but we wouldn't move on a doggone thing. And right before he died, him and I were supposed to finally go into business together. And he was like, hey, I'm going to take my test for teaching. And right after that, I'm jumping on this business with you, Marvin. And we're going to jump on it and we're going to be successful. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And my boy ended up, passing before we even had, that opportunity. Number six, you don't have to wait for an apology to forgive. It'd be times when him and I didn't talk, and I used to get mad at him, or he would get mad at me if we didn't talk. And but we would, when we finally got back on the phone with each other, we would pick up right where we left off, like that, right? And sometimes I would be like waiting for an apology, be like, dang man, like why you ain't hit me up? You said you was gonna hit me up or whatever. But like I had to learn to forgive him because he was busy or he was trying to conquer whatever feat, or maybe he had a new girlfriend or whatever the case may be. We weren't talking, but I had to learn how to forgive and just move on, right? You have to learn how to forgive people, even if you don't receive an apology, because you just don't know if, the next day or the next moment might be the last moment you have with them. Number 7, some people aren't for you. I saw Perry make new friends, right? And I saw him, drinking all the time, having a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like I partake in alcoholic beverages, but you got to know your limits and stuff like that. My friend, he ended up having a aneurysm, and caused by high blood pressure, and I believe that maybe it was because of some of his drinking. Maybe not. I'm not a doctor, but whatever the case may be, you got to watch who you're hanging around, right? You are the sum of the people who you hang around. Okay, and so if you're hanging around people that all they do is drink or smoke or do drugs, or not saying that he was hanging around those type of people, but I'm just saying if you're hanging around people who don't mean well for you, right, who aren't doing well, they may not be for you. And that's not about my boy. I'm talking about for all of us out there in Oscar Mike land, right? We need to be careful who we have around us. We are the sum of the people that we have around us. 8, it's not other people's job to love you. It's yours. Perry and I, we used to talk about like, oh, this person should be doing this for me, or this person should be doing that, or whatever the case may be, or he had different love interests since I knew him, and I used to tell him like, it's your job to take care of you, and it's your job to love you, and I'm telling you guys out there, like no one can make me happy. I have to make myself happy first, right? And it took me a long time to realize that, and I think Perry, starting to realize that. But this is something that him and I used to discuss, and in his memory, I wanted to talk about it. Like it's your job to love you. It's your job to take care of you. It's your job to do those push-ups in the morning, to go work out. It's your body. Right? Everything is on you. Stop putting things on everyone else. It's on you. Number 9, what you own is not who you are. I remember back in like 2010, 2011, Perry went and bought a BMW. I had the 7 Series BMW, and we were the BMW boys. We were the Beamer boys. Everywhere we went, we riding around in those Beamers, and we used to be flashy, pull up to the club in the Beamers, and people be looking at us. Sometimes I let him drive mine, sometimes he let me drive his, and we just idolized those cars. But, as we got older, we realized that, like, the things that we own are not necessarily who we are. It didn't necessarily make who we were at the time as men. And we had to learn that hard lesson, and him and I, we talked about it like, material things, clothes, shoes, cars, and stuff like that. And I stopped putting my money into those types of things, and I started investing really heavy. And that's what pretty much got me to where I'm at right now, to be, a little bit more comfortable. And so I have to thank Perry for that, because he helped me realize that, Number 10, everything changes every second, and that nothing is guaranteed. I was at the beach less than 2 weeks ago, talking to my boy Perry on the phone, telling him like, yo man, I got this business, it's jumping off. I want you to get on board with me. You're one of my best friends. And he was like, yo, Oscar Mike, I'm in there. Let me just take this test. Let me get after this. I got to do this. I'm there with you. I'm waiting on this check, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And a couple of days later, my boy Jathan, we call him JD, he calls me up and he tells me like, yo, you hear about Perry? He had an aneurysm. I'm like, what? I just talked to him a couple of days ago. No way. No way something happened to, Perry. I used to call him LLPJ. Ladies love Perry Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I used to call him Gentleman Jack. I was like, nothing. No. But yes, he's gone. And we have to realize that nothing in life is guaranteed. So let me tell you, like, this is a lesson for me, you, and everybody on this earth. Nothing is guaranteed. Life is not guaranteed. You got to get out there and you got to get after whatever you want. No one's coming to save you. This is the hard truth. I could walk out the door 2 minutes from now, a minute from now, after this video, and that can be the end. So it's up to each and every one of us to live the life we want to live now. To get after whatever we want now. To make our mark on this earth now. Because you don't know when you're going to get another chance. You can't say tomorrow. You got to go for everything you can today. All right. In love and memory of my boy LLPJ, also known as Gentleman Jack, also known as the Lady's Choice, Perry Jackson. I love you, brother. I miss you. May you rest in peace. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next video. Oscar Mike, out.